Pull up on the block, dash, lit, we glide. Creps on my feet, pockets wide. Up tryna chat, bruv, can't collide. Gas life crew, bruv, by my side. New stack tool, bruv, safe, look tight. Man, I move silent, streets I love at night.
Welcome to my Premier League review of game week 1 of the 26-27 season. This is where to be if you want to see all the reviews for the Premier League games. We are going to be doing it here. And I'm going to come to you with my own, spin of the wheel of the twisted shitty Roonies and that at the same time. So let's have a look at the calendar because we reviewed the Arsenal one. We reviewed the Man United one. So now today we're going to review these 4 games on my right-hand side, if you zimmy down here. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get into it. But one last thing I've got to say is please like, comment and subscribe so then I can do more of these and I've got more time to do these as well at the same time because I really have enjoyed having the Premier League back for the first time in a while. Let's get into it. Now, Brentford 3, Tottenham 0. 300 million plus spent and Brentford just put 3 past yours. Tottenham didn't just lose. They got absolutely battered. You had Keane Lewis-Potter score in the 12th minute. Vitaly Janelt score in the 33rd minute. And then ManLikeHoyoo makes it 3 in the 49th minute. And even Brentford missed the penalty through Igor Thiago. But that game could have been 5, 6, 7 or 8-0. If you have a look at the stats, Brentford had only 41% possession and Tottenham had 59% possession. Forget the possession though, just for this weekend and this game weekend, just forget the possession stats because the shots that Brentford had, they had 26 shots compared to Tottenham's 9. Shots on target was 8-4 to Brentford, and the disgusting one was the XG, 4.03 goals to Tottenham's 0.47. Brother, this is not even an unlucky defeat. This was a tactical assassination, and purely because they set up really well and they were aggressive and they wanted the ball more than fucking Tottenham. This was all possible because of one certain man in that Brentford team, Mamadou Sangare. Yo, you deserve a round of applause because what you have done for this Brentford team is relentless. The first goal was due to the fact that he was relentless. That pass to be able to do a 1-2 give and go, get into space and cross it in for Lewis-Potter to score was ridiculous. But everything went through Mamadou Sangare in terms of the way they attacked, the way they pressed, the way they won the ball, the way they went direct, runners in behind. Everything Brentford did was incredible to watch and incredible to see. That's what you expect from a top football club to do. And Brentford did that, easily slicing through Tottenham. The second goal though from Janelt was the fact that Kinski made an error in terms of parrying the ball away in it. So somebody takes a shot. I think it was Jensen that takes a shot. And then he parries the ball into the direction. And Janelt was the first one to react. And he gets it into the bottom corner. But it's the same with the third one as well. He does the exact same thing. So you got fucking Sangare taking a shot as well. And this come from a set piece in it. And then it went long and that. And Collins brought it down for Sangare to take a shot. And then it bundled in. And the keeper makes a save. And puts it in the direction of a Brentford player. And Coyote is the first one again to strike. And it gets into the back of the net. They made their own mistake themselves. Kinski, I repeat, is not a very good goalkeeper. Something needs to happen in that goalkeeping position because De Zerbi believes in it. And this is why Spurs' possession was meaningless because Tottenham completed more passes, they had more possession, and Brentford didn't care. It was the fact that they were like, yo, have all the ball, you're going to make a mistake, you're going to fuck it up, and then guess what, we're going to capitalize. That's what Brentford were thinking, and they did that on numerous occasions. The fact that even after that game, the press conference, De Zerbi was saying they didn't have the athleticism to play and the physicality. Yo, brother, why did you play these players then if they haven't got the athleticism or physicality? The Premier League is known for a physical game. He looked so worse for wear when he was giving that press conference. I swear, Tottenham, you guys are in big trouble. I know it's the first game of the season and I might be overreacting, but if you guys carry on playing like this, you are in big trouble. Brentford were fucking aggressive. They attacked the second balls. They press caused problems. Their transitions were quick. And Mamadou Sangare had an outstanding Premier League debut. 39 million compared to the 230 million patterns that sat in that midfield for Spurs. You had Gallagher, you had Fernandes, and you had Tonali. Fucking ridiculous against the £39 million man. Like literally, he might be the coup of the season right now. And let's talk about Tottenham's defensive structure because the biggest issue wasn't simply individual defenders. Like De Zerbi did say, Senesi didn't have the physicality or aggressiveness or the fitness, match fitness. The same can said about Tonali and Fernandes. That's what he said. But at the end of the day, the Tottenham's midfield wasn't protecting the transitions and their defensive line was exposed. Players weren't reacting together when possession was lost. They were literally individually trying to sort things out in it, but they all stepped out of position. So you had a big ass gap, and everyone was just watching the ball. And then Brentford could attack spaces because Spurs were reorganizing their positions, but it was too late by then. It was too late. This is what happens when you've got loads of new players but very little cohesion. And De Zerbi basically admitted it himself after the game. His assessment was that the Tottenham currently aren't functioning as a proper team and were lacking both cohesion and physical readiness. Like I said, the fitness isn't there. And that's a crazy thing for your manager to be saying after game one. That's the thing in it. He looked defeated. But 300 million doesn't buy you chemistry. Tottenham have bought Tonali, Fernandes, Van Hecke, Senesi, Andy Robertson, and now it's rumoured, it's not rumoured, it's complete. Savinho's coming down for £75 million as well. It's ridiculous. This is like, you know, when you go on manager mode and you buy the prospectus players and that in it to eventually they hit that, what's that thing called in it? So you've got the actual assessment of the player and then their potential. That's what I'm on about, the potential. They bought these players based on potential, but they expect them to be ready now. It's not going to happen like that. They need time, they need games or whatnot. But at the end of the day, they need questions being answered. Like, when do they press? When do they cover? Who's protecting the half spaces? Who's following the runner? Who's covering the full back when he goes? That's the questions they should be looking at with Tottenham. This is the game that I would be much more concerned about today in terms of my reviews. Because losing 1-0 through a set piece it's okay. It happens. Losing because somebody scores a screamer, it happens as well. But conceding 26 shots and around 4 expected goals while producing less than 0.5 xG yourself, that's structural. That's a problem De Zerbi needs to look at ASAP. He's got a lot of work to do before the next game comes around on the weekend. Because right now, Tottenham might have one of the most expensive squads in the league. But Brentford look like the actual team. So you had Everton 2, Crystal Palace 0. Everton start the season with a 2-0 win at the Hill Dickens Stadium. Their first opening weekend Premier League victory in 5 years. Kieran Dewsbury had a hand into it. Ndiaye had a hand into it. Barry had a hand to it as well. But don't forget, Crystal Palace missed a host of chances. So let's run through the game. And as you can see, the stats on my right-hand side, yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, Everton had 42% possession compared to Palace's 58%. Like, from that game, if you just completely cancel the 2 goals, it looked like Palace were dominating, but they had 4 shots that hit the woodwork for them. So it was unlucky for Palace. So why did Everton win that game comfortably, even though Palace dominated in possession? It was the fact that Everton were much more direct and they weren't obsessed with dominating possession where Crystal Palace were. And then that led to the 2 midfielders that Everton had, Armstrong and Hackney. My word, what a game they both had. They were direct, they were aggressive, and they were hungry to win that ball. That combination of duo in that midfield have helped Everton recover so much balls for them to strike counter-attacks after counter-attacks on Crystal Palace. And when the opportunities arrived for Everton, they attacked quickly and committed players forward. Dewsbury Hall's opener came from Harrison Armstrong's, finding him before KDH produced the finisher, and what a goal it was, boys. Left-footed, a cross goal, and it hits the fucking side netting. The keeper couldn't even get close to it. And then shortly after, Iliman Ndiaye creates Barry's goal, but that was due to the quick thinking of Hayden Hackney, because he literally starts a quick free kick and that, passes it to Ndiaye, who gets inside the byline and that, to be able to whip that cross in for Barry to score that header to make it 2-0. But yeah, that midfield that Everton have with Armstrong and Hackney, even though he didn't have that many preseason games as well, and the fact that Armstrong is only an 18, 19-year-old kid, what the hell, fam? It looked like he's been playing there for years. And Dewsbury Hall, he will be one of Everton's key players. Literally creeps up in them positions to be able to help Everton create chances as well as finish them himself, and he's going to be so important for Everton going forward. And if they want to build on that, hopefully, let's say they finish on top 10 finish for them. But man, Crystal Palace, they had problems, man. The underlying attacking numbers actually weren't terrible because Mateta had his chances, but he hit the post a fair few times as well, and the bar as well. But the rumours are that he wants out of Crystal Palace because he tried to say to them, like, yo, you're not supposed to add an extra option to my contract and that, which they exercised for this season. And then he's saying that that should be invalid. He's taken it up higher. Hire's rejected it. And now he's taking it up to FIFA to see if he can get them to do anything about it. But yeah, man, he's still playing and he's still starting that lineup as well. And he could have been deadly if he finished his chances. but the problem was up to their finishing. That's what I was gonna say. And they created approximately 2 times the XG of Everton. Scoring 0 is criminal. And Everton gave them opportunities, and Jordan Pickford had work to do, but Palace couldn't punish them. They couldn't do nothing. Everton didn't necessarily dominate the game. They dominated the moments that decided the whole game. And if Moyes can combine that efficiency with that defensive organisation Everton are known for, they could be extremely annoying to play against this season. Ipswich 2, Sunderland 1. This is how you announce yourself back in the Premier League. Ipswich beat Sunderland 2-1 at Pullman Road despite having only 37.5% possession. Can you believe that? You had Emerson opening the scoring after 24 minutes before Anguilla equalised with a brilliant free kick in the 39th minute. And then this former Sunderland man, Jack Clarke, came off the bench and scored the winner in the 90th minute. What a game this was. This is football writing its own script. And as you can see the stat to my right hand side, Sunderland had 62.5% possession compared to Ipswich 37.5%. And you know what they needed to do. Ipswich just needed to make the moments matter, and they did, because Sunderland completed 484 accurate passes compared to Ipswich 258. But Ipswich were much more direct. You can tell as the game grew on, Sunderland had the ball, but Ipswich had the danger. Gary O'Neill wasn't interested in Ipswich winning some meaningless possession competition. They remained compact, allowed Sunderland periods on the ball, and waited for mistakes before attacking quickly. Ipswich's first goal literally comes from that principle. Luke O'Neill makes the mistake, and Julio Enciso, what a player, Julio Enciso, intercepts possession, drives forward, and squares for Emerson to score. And what a player. The link up between them two is going to be crucial for Ipswich staying up this season, if it's a possibility, because Enciso was moving like prime Isco of Real Madrid. That's why he reminded him of the more I seen him dribble, because my word, he had Ipswich on a burner, literally took him to another gear. And Sunderland, they couldn't handle him. They could not handle him. His dribbling was insane. And then you get to Jack Clarke, perfect substitution. Then in the 90th minute, another Sunderland giveaway. This time, Alderate loses possession. Ipswich punish it. And then Jack Clarke, against his former club, can you believe that? Former club, curls the winner into the bottom corner. You genuinely couldn't write it any better than what it is. Ipswich's big positive was the fact that the new signings, 7 of them, were gelling together within this game. Normally you'd expect communication problems, combinations not being around there, and then players learning each other's movements, but it looked like they've been playing together for quite some time. Like that pre-season done them so well. Whatsoever they've been working on that training ground, it's coming to fruition. And Sunderland, man, I know it wasn't your day in it, but going forward in it, I know that you're going to be a problem for people in it. You just got to carry on that. The thing is, you need to be the Sunderland you were last season, a bit more physical. So once you add that more to your game and that, then it should be all right in it. Because, the chances were there. The possession was there. The passing was there. Let's see if you can do this against the mid-level to the top teams as well. That's my aim for Sunderland. So final take of this game is that the Sunderland won possession, but Ipswich won territory at the moments that mattered. And more importantly, Ipswich turned Sunderland's mistakes into goals. If you're a newly promoted team, that level of efficiency can be the difference between survival and relegation. And finally, you had Nottingham Forest 0, Leeds 1. This was probably the strangest game of the 4 because almost nothing separated these guys. Literally, it was neck for neck, eye for eye. Forest had roughly 55% possession, as you can see from the board right here. And then Leeds had 45%. But then Forest had 12 shots, Leeds had 11. Forest had 2 shots on target, Leeds had 3. But at the end of the day, what matters the most is that Leeds got that win through Anton Starch, where he scored that immaculate free kick to be able to beat the wall and trickle in through cells. But don't take that fact away that they all had chances and it could have been a lot more than 1-0. Forest actually had opportunities to win this. Igor Jesus and Chris Wood both missed some good chances. They also hit the woodwork twice. But neither team created loads of high-quality open play chances. That's why the match became about set pieces, individual mistakes, second balls, and who could produce one decisive moment, and that was Leeds. But yeah, Leeds do deserve credit because they had around 45% possession but weren't completely pinned back. They completely were physical. They actually won overall more duels according to the match data, and they made 15 interceptions compared with Forest's 2. But let me tell you about one guy, Moramovic. yo, he was cooking it at the back end, and he was in my fantasy football as well at the same time. I'm going to be doing a video about fantasy football. Don't worry about that. But yeah, he was in my fantasy football, and he could have had a goal, and he made that a challenge, that slide tackling challenge. But again, Harry Wilson as well for Leeds, he will be cold for them. And this is what I think, Leeds would definitely finish in the top half of the Premier League this season. Mark my words. Harry Wilson was cold with it as well today. He could have had a chance or two as well. He had in it. He could have buried one or two in it, but it is what it is, isn't it? It's just the start of the Premier League season, and Leeds got off to a rocker. This wasn't Leeds destroying Forest tactically. This was an extremely close Premier League game decided by one piece of quality and one piece of questionable goalkeeping. Sometimes your tactical analysis can be 50 minutes long. Sometimes the analysis is simple. Don't give Anton Starch a free kick in the 88th minute. So that's our 4 games wrapped up. We've had positives, we've had negatives, and we've looked at individual players and seen which players have actually done the bee's knees in it for these teams. But yeah, let's get hopefully into the next one. But please comment, like, and subscribe, and make sure you share this for the rest of the world to see too in it. Thank you. Peace on the streets.
I'm like, hey, what's up?